Good afternoon on what is a cold, grey and chilly day. It is a balmy 3 degrees here on what is Saturday, December the 17th, and I'm in the reading nook with a package to unbox and a nice hot cup of tea. Definitely need that. And if I show you, I've done this before, so if I show you that, you know who this package is from. The Midderlands, then it's from Monkey Blood Design, which publishes the Midderlands setting, which is an old school Renaissance style setting, written for swords and wizardry, and then sort of like old school essential sort of thing. I believe that what it really takes that is a fantasy version of the British Isles called the Haven Isles. And infused it with sort of like one part's green and one part's Monty Python sensibility, one part's old school White Dwarf kind of sensibility. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what's in this package, so let's open it up. Because I love getting packages from Glenn. He's really a really good publisher, and it's a pleasure to work on all of his books because I am the editor on a lot of these books. And so what I have got here is, just get this out. In fact, I wasn't expecting this. I've got 2 packages because I normally just get one, but this is Fighting Folk of the Haven Isle. Now. There was an earlier book called Folk Magic of the Haven Isle, which looks at the alternate magic practices inspired by the by folklore of mostly British folklore, and sort of like Dungeons and Dragons style gaming. It just essentially looked at various types of magic across the setting, including introducing the most British possible spell of all time, which is enforced queuing. It is a masterful spell. You cast it, and all of your opponents are forced to form a queue and take it in order to attack you. Brilliant. Anyway, so Fighting Folk of the Haven Isles does exactly the same thing, but for your fighter type characters. Fighting Folk of the Haven Isles, an old school role-playing settlement for warriors and other fighting folk, inspired by the folklore of the British Isles. It includes 17 fighting folk subclasses, 17 new classes, 11 backgrounds, fighting folk subpositions, 20 new weapons, 10 magic weapons and armour, and 5 legions of legend. And it's OSR compatible and the Midlands compatible. So you don't have to use it just in the Midlands, you can use it in your old school Renaissance games of your choice. So cracking opens a bit tight, but here we have the credits. It's written by Richard Marpole, who's written a lot of the supplements for the setting, who is a pleasure to work with, and of course there's me as doing all the editing, and the other thing, the footnotes. So if you've got this, here's the table of contents. You'll know what I mean by about footnotes. So yeah, here we get up to the first one, introduction, and then we get into the subclasses, or excuse the language, or slightly less shit fighters, because the whole idea is that sort of like these make the fighters a bit more interesting. So, and you see what the footnotes? I've added footnotes. All this is, yes, I'm responsible for this. Sorry if there's some awful puns and bad jokes in there. But I am told that they make the publisher laugh, and hopefully they also make the author laugh as well, because he's got to put up with them. Here we have that. This is the first one, which is, let's just have a look. It said Cold Fingers, which is the Arthurian Knight. So we have image of an Arthurian Knight against the green background, because hey, Haven Isles, Middergloom and green. And then notes on the fighting style, suggested starting equipment and so on. Sort of nice bit of background and so on for just the one class, if you want to do that sort of thing. Barber surgeon, does the same thing. A bit simpler. No footnotes. I'm not looking for these footnotes, but I'm just going through it. And then, you know, very British type of warrior, beefeater. You know, more silly footnotes and stuff at the back at the bottom there. And then we've got a berserker. And then other berserker orders, so suggestions. So you've got quite a bit of flexibility in here. The content, coastal corsair, and then a quick note about a notorious pirate. Here is someone whom I gamed with and got permission to put in there. And then we have what's next? So just looking through the Fisher Knight, sort of like vague parallels with the Arthurian Knight, but it's different. And then Gallowglass, which is a Scottish warrior. And then we have one of my favourites, the Hooligan. Can't be any more British than that. Very 1970s kind of thing. And then we have, you know, I introduced the game for the Hooligan. They detailed it. All the most prominent Hooligan characters are detailed in the game. Top thumps, but unfortunately, no Hooligan has ever been able to play the game. And all attempts have ended in a punch-up and failure. And then at House Carl, kind of a classic, got a Saxon warrior type thing. All my favourite, the Celtic hero, the Scottish hero, for which I mentioned there's even a bit of poetry down there. Yes, just to note that, let's have a look. So the Celtic hero, what did I put? I'm going to read this out. There are tales of a legendary, another Celtic warrior, native of Scotland. The Ginger is said to be a kilted, particularly red-headed warrior, capable of great stealth. He would creep over the Great Wall of Athreen and then aggressively, violently take out the temper on some poor, unfortunate Havenlander before creeping back across the wall. The most well-known depiction of the Ginger is the Lay of the Silent Scotsman, typically used to put fear into Havenlander children who refuse to go to bed. And this is the bit of poetry I created. So it's "O dread night creeper, red of face, hair, rage and kilt, comes across the wall unseen till he nutsy one, the dread Ginger in the night." Now, this all started as a joke with another friend. I put it in, and the author said, "I don't know." He got it tested. He got it sensitivity tested with a Scotsman. Made the Scotsman laugh. That's fine. So yes, the source of the Lay of the Silent Scotsman is disputed. Matthias Pauck, in his Scary Stories for We Scots and Other Small Folk, gives William the Bard Baird as the source. Baird denies this and points to the one Scots, MacJost, as the original author. Scotsman's Jost has never been available for comment, as nobody has ever seen him. So yeah, lots of jokes in there, lots of silliness, but lots of classes and fun. You know you can use to make your player characters, your fighters, much more fun. And then we've got the Morbid Celebrant. Of which the official, basically there's an order of a member of an order of death obsessed warriors. The official Ordo Memento Mori music when this occurs is Dem Bones. It costs the order a fortune in performance rights. Then we've got the Queen's Grade or Queen's Grave Club member. There we go. A privileged and essential practitioner of the noble art of fisticuffs. And then again, you've got role-playing suggestions for all of these as well, so equipment and so on. Wife of Bath, so you know, a gregarious fighter trained in everyday objects as a warrior. Wolf's Head. And then the new class we have is the Green Cap, basically goblin fighters, essentially untwisted by the unfair folk. Backgrounds, so you can add those to your characters as well. And then we've got a section on superstitions of the fighting folk. Weapons, including what I put here. Gorlandian Field Weapons, a recognition guide, a translation of Armies de Compagnie Gorlandines et Comet Frapper have Frapper Havenlanders Avec Els and Guide to the Reconnaissance by Archmage Fromage Majou is available from Offspray Press. It omits the guide to using cheese in battle. So yeah, you've got a guide to bows, guns, swords, the whatnot, everything that you might find, and more magic weapons. And then yeah, and then we've got Legions of Legends, that some of the battle units and so on, that the player characters might join or run into. So yeah, everything in there. And then we've got a Midderlands glossary at the back. And then of course the OGL. So yeah, that's Fighting Folk of the Haven Isles, by Richard Marpole and Glyn Seal, with added idiocy by me. I will admit it. It's all stupid. It's all it's very, very silly. So yeah, great addition to the Midlands, of course, but easily workable with the old school Renaissance setting of your choice. Anyway, thanks for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a parcel containing a book or game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do hit the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching. Be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.